What's up, everyone? Welcome to Lowered Expectations. Thanks for lowering your expectations and hanging out with me here. I do appreciate it. I've got some videos coming up where I'm going to be testing some more Viver equipment. I've got another Viver diesel heater. It is their new model that actually has a carbon monoxide safety shutdown, so I'm going to be testing that very soon. I'm also going to be doing some more testing and work on my waste oil burner that I made. I've got some pieces to turn that into a water heater, or make another one and make a water heater. And on my other channel, I'm doing some modifications to a jet ski engine where I'm doing a big bore kit on it, as well as some porting and polishing. So lots of stuff happening here. I am very busy. However, this video is about me modifying these shelf brackets. I was out doing a service call the other day and the customer and I got chatting, and I came to find out that he had these shelf brackets that he needed modified, and I decided that a plasma cutter would be the perfect tool to do the job. So I'm gonna set up, hopefully I get the plasma cutter set up so that I can just move it at a steady pace and we get these all cut down to the exact same size. Then I hit them with a flap disc and they're all done. I'm also going to be removing the center pin. You can see he's already removed one. I'm going to be removing the rest of them. We got 6 to do in total, so I'm going to try to set the plasma cutter up with some sort of a jig so that I can do this very easily. Let's see if I can make it happen. The first test piece turned out pretty well. I've hit it with a flap disc and it's come out nice. It did end up with a little bit of a bow in it, but I was able to kind of press that back into place. I'm going to do the rest of them. I've talked to the customer and told him that there's a possibility that they're going to warp, and he told me to go ahead with it, so I'm going to go ahead. This one cut a little bit more off than I would like. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but I'm going to try to set it up so that it actually cuts a little bit higher. Also, I'm going to use something underneath. I'm going to use a plastic shim or something so that it slides better across the concrete. There was, it was very notchy. It kept catching, and then I would go slow and then fast, and then it would stop, and then it would jump too far. So yeah, I'm going to use some sort of plastic shim underneath it. That will raise me up a little bit, and it will also hopefully make it slide nicer across the painted concrete surface. That turned out really well. It went way better than the other day. I got the cut height around to where I wanted it, and it went fairly quick. Now that I've got them cut, I do need to do some touch-up work with a flap disc. I'm gonna break off the slag with a hammer. Oh, the guy also wanted these pins removed. I think I'll do that with a cut-off disc just because it's gonna make more sense. You may have noticed a couple of places in this video I struggled to get the plasma cutter to start cutting, and at one place in the video I actually replaced the consumables because I thought they were completely wore out. It turns out that I'm just an idiot, and you need to make sure that you have the clamp connected. If you don't have the clamp connected, because this is high frequency start, it will actually do some cutting, but it just kind of makes a mess and it doesn't cut very well. I would also advise against using it without the clamp connected because I think it puts a lot of strain on the plasma cutter. You may have also noticed in a recent video where I build my waste oil burner or heater, whatever you want to call it, and a couple places in this video where I actually used a cutoff disc. Might be a surprise to some of you, but a plasma cutter is not a one tool solves all problems. It is very well suited to certain things, but there's other places where you're still going to want to use a hacksaw, cutoff disc, or some other type of cutting tool. But in the appropriate situation, a plasma cutter saves a whole lot of time and a whole lot of cost. I probably would have used at least 6 cutoff discs to cut this material off, and if I were to set it up in a milling machine, it would have taken hours and hours just for the setup. So this saved me a lot of time and a lot of money, and I was able to pass that savings on to my customer. There you have it, folks. This small project is completed, and the Weaver Plasma Cutter made this job a whole lot easier and a whole lot more cost effective. If I would have had to use grinder discs to do this, I probably would have got 1 grinder disc per piece, so that's going to bump the cost of doing this way up. As I told you guys earlier, I did have a bit of trouble with warping of the material. If you're doing it on a welding bench, it might be a little bit easier, but this metal is going to warp no matter how good you hold it down. I was able to pop them into my press and bend them back. They're not perfect, but they are going to suit the customer's needs. As I said earlier, these are shelf brackets. The piece that I was cutting off was being cut off because originally the shelf was going to be thicker and it got planed down and was thin, and so this part of the shelf or the bracket rather, could be seen. The customer didn't want the bracket to be seen, and so he wanted me to cut that piece off. So hopefully this suits his needs perfectly. If you guys are interested in purchasing one of these plasma cutters, there will be an affiliate link in the description below. I've had mine for about a year now, and I've been really happy with it. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. That's not supposed to do that. Did that break? Oh. All right, folks, as I was putting my plasma cutter away, I noticed that the handle here, or this little safety mechanism, has stopped working. So I don't know if there's a spring that has let go or something inside there, but thought I would be upfront with you guys and show you that this had happened. I guess I'll pop this cover apart and see what actually happened inside. I'll bring you guys in a little closer. Looks like it comes apart easily. Hopefully there's no surprises in there awaiting. Okay, there's a spring, and that spring looks like it became detached. But what could it detach? Oh, the piece must have broken off that it's supposed to attach to. Oh yeah, there's the piece. Okay, so this little plastic piece that attaches to the safety mechanism has broken off. That might be my fault. I think that this should be a little bit more robust, but as you guys would have noticed, I made a jig for this, and that jig was causing me to use this a little bit, a little bit more awkwardly than you normally would. But yeah, this did break, so I am showing you.